Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is a beautiful mid-December day here in Southwest Florida. It is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 22 degrees Celsius. I look around, not a cloud in the sky, nice wind. This is just beautiful. What I have today is something that I've been meaning to share with you, and that is a purchase in a small haul that I made from Sundance Orchids here in Southwest Florida. They're located in Fort Myers. I visited them and was just really happy with the type of orchids they have, but also the quality of the orchids that they were providing. It seems like they have a lot of the new varieties, some of which originated in Thailand, some came from the U.S. I bought just a small amount, but a variety of things. My orchid collection is growing, and I have my seedlings are all coming, and I have a very small orchid growing space, so I have to be very selective with my orchids, which I think I was. But hey, also the plant propagator junior accompanied me on that trip, and she has big eyes for orchids, and I let her keep stuff in my space, and so one of these is hers, but I told her she could do that. I say, if you like something, if you really like something, buy it. Just keep it here. She couldn't take it on the plane with her, and so one of these is, the biggest one, of course, belongs to her, and I keep a pink tag in the orchids that are hers, and when she comes down, if she forgot, she can visit the ones that have the pink tag in it. All right, so what I want to do is share with you the orchids that I purchased and kind of tell you a little bit of story behind each one. Some of them I know a little bit about, most of them I don't. There's a variety of new hybrids and old hybrids, and there's one, the first one I'm going to show you, that's this one right here, that I'm not sure how well will grow here. This is a Brasidium. Let's go to this one right here first, and I should also say that when I bought this plant, it was in a 4-inch pot. It was in a lot smaller pot, but it was growing out of the pot. And I didn't like how it was growing. There's 2 spikes on this plant, one here, one back here. I thought that one of the flowers on this might be open by today, but it's not. Anyway, this is, and I felt that this needed to be repotted right away, and I'm not sure whether that's good because it was in spike, flowers are coming up. But when I pulled this out of the 4-inch pot, all I could see outline in the shape of the pot were roots. I mean, it was root bound, clearly, and maybe that's what induces flowering in these guys. I don't know, but I just felt the need to repot them. So this is Brasidium Kenneth Bivens. The cultivar is Santa Barbara, and I should say this one is even as big as it is. And all the other ones, as large as some of them are, they're all $35, which I think is a reasonable price, especially for an orchid this big from a specialty orchid grower. Okay, so this is a Brasidium, which is a cross between an Oncidium and a Brassia. The flowers on this, they're not open, but I was able to find flowers of this online. They're huge, really fine sepals and petals, and spotting, which I like. I don't know if it's fragrant because it wasn't. It might have been a little fragrance. Oncidiums do tend to have some fragrance associated with them, but we'll see how this grows, and we'll see how this does in this location. When I was shopping, it was a little bit unusual. I had a colleague from my orchid breeding group that showed up right as I was in the middle of my shopping. And his wife looked at me and looked at this orchid and said, good luck with that. I can't grow those here. I can't grow those in my collection. And so that's a challenge, but we'll see how it does. I planted it. Normally I put most of my orchids in a combination of leca and lava stone, most of the cattleyas, but this is an Oncidium intergeneric hybrid, and so I put it in bark. I'm not sure if it should have been in sphagnum moss. The bark, and as much as it rains and these plants get watered here, it should be okay, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Because this is an Oncidium intergeneric, I do have some of my Oncidiums that are about to bloom, and I may try making some crosses onto this plant, or I may collect the pollinia off of this plant and use it. But again, this is a Brasidium Kenneth Bivens, and I'm pretty happy to get this. The second one that I'd like to show you, and I got to find it here. Okay, the second one is here, and the other ones I haven't repotted yet. So this is a RLC Monthatip Gold. The cultivar has written as #1, so whatever that means. This one is also in spike, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't repot this. I just put this in a pot that I have attached to a hanger. So this has been sitting in the pergola. I thought that the flower might be open, but it'll probably be open tomorrow. I don't know. It looks like it has a few more days to it, but the flower's right here. So this is called Monthatip Gold, and this is a this is going to be a yellow cattleya with a little bit of a red lip on the and a yellow throat in the flower. This has they're large, really open, flat flowers, and I'm pretty excited about this. One of the reasons that I got this one is because this was generated by the same breeder, the same hybridizer that made this Amazing Thailand. And this is my Amazing Thailand, and it's blooming right now. It's not loaded, but it has a bloom on it, and this is one of my most favorite cattleyas, with the amount of flowering, with the openness, with a number of things. The only thing that I would do to this is maybe put a little bit of yellow in the throat of this. Anyway, same breeder that generated this. So I like his hybrids, and I want to see what this does. And I got a flower on it. The roots on this look pretty good. The plant looks very healthy. So again, I'm pretty excited about RLC Monthatip Gold. Again, I liked, with Sundance, they had, this is a new hybrid. This was just registered a few years ago. And they seem to have, again, a combination of new and older hybrids. And I like the variety in the assortment that's there. Okay, the next one that I want to share with you is this one, and this was another one that I had to have. It's not a huge plant. It'll probably bloom. It looks like it'll probably bloom in a year and a half. But what attracted me to this was the incredible vigorous growth, the root growth that you can see at the base of this plant. So this is a nice vigorous plant. The other thing that attracted me to this plant was the name. So this is RLC Memoria John Odom. The cultivar is listed as capital NN. And so, and there's a little, I didn't notice, there's a description on this. So this is described as large, outstanding orange-yellow flowers with stunning crimson lip, and then the secret word fragrant on this. So this is a Memoria John Odom, and I was drawn to this plant because of how it looked and how vigorous it was, but it's also, the name is John Odom, and it's a Memoria John Odom, which is what you can name a plant when somebody passes away. And I know John Odom, and I visited with him a few years ago, and I didn't think that he had passed away. I thought he was still with us. So I contacted Rob, who I know at Sundance Orchids, and I asked him, I said, I just bought this plant, which I think he generated, and did John pass? And he replied right away and said, this is John Odom Sr. The John Odom that I know is John Odom Jr., and I didn't realize that. So this is Memoria John Odom Sr. And I looked up, whenever I shop, I should also say I have orchid roots on my phone. I looked up the flower, and it looked really nice. So I wanted to give it a try, because there is there's some flaring. So there's yellow flowers, and there's some flaring in there where it's the crimson, that it says here, crimson edge. It says crimson lip, but maybe orange on the flowers a little bit. And I looked this guy up, and it says the history on this, and the history of this is 50% Toshi Aoki, which looks a lot like this one. And this is a good vigorous plant, good flowers, but the picture that I saw of this doesn't look like this. This is not Toshi Aoki. This is another hybrid that is mostly Toshi Aoki. But there's a lot of this in this. So, even though I'm not sure I like the yellow color, it's striking when you have yellow petals and sepals with a darker lip. And again, that's what is in Memoria John Odom here. So the other thing that's confusing, it was confusing because this is not the John Odom that I know, it's his father. But the other thing that's confusing is that when I looked online, there were different flower pictures that were associated with this, which is okay, and that it can happen. But even the cultivars, so this has their specific cultivars of this this hybrid, and even the cultivars that should be exactly the same, that should be clones, the flowers of those even look different. So I'm not sure what I'm going to get here. I hope it's the one that I have placed and am now placing on the screen, but I'd be okay if it looked more like the Toshi Aoki, which is what some of the online flowers look like, but we'll see. Anyway, happy to have this in my collection. All right, so the last one that I want to share with you is RLC Jennifer Off, and the cultivar of this is Joan. This is what I pick, a really nice vigorous plant, lots of new root growth coming out on this plant, and there's a new pseudobulb here. You can see there's some eyes here that are growing out. The flower of this is described here on the tag as pink flowers with red flares, red lip. Large flower with what I love, a sweet fragrance. So I'm happy with this because I tend to be attracted to the flowers that have flaring, and this flower has some flaring. I don't remember how old this variety is, but this is an orchid plant. This is a clone. So the flowers on my plant should look exactly like the flowers that you find that are pictured online. So I'm happy to have this. So again, the name of this is RLC Jennifer Off, cultivar Joan. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I have a lot of my orchids are in bud, are blooming. I just wanted to give a kind of an overview of the small haul that I brought home from Sundance, just to share that with you. I'll be doing more walkthroughs through my orchid collection. It's interesting. I've got a lot of buds. Therefore, I'm just waiting for these buds to open, and I'm leaving in less than 10 days, a little over a week. And I'm thinking from the size of the flowers that I'll be able to make one more video of the flowers right when they're opening. Some I'm going to miss. I can see some of them are blooming, and I'll share those flowers with you over the next 1 or 2 videos. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my video. That's all I have for today. If you enjoyed my video and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have again for today, and happy propagating.